Hi everyone, it's me again, no makeup on, because I'm literally in the middle of editing another video, as you can see here, where I actually look presentable. And I was doom scrolling on Reddit. Ugh. I was doom scrolling on Reddit, I'm sorry. And then I saw this on the Amberverse subreddit. Also, I heard y'all talking about me. I do know the Amberlynn Reid lore. That's my only response to that. Y'all can talk about me. I don't care. Anyway, I saw this. Okay, my last response to Beck mega thread. I should make myself bigger. Hold on. This is chaos already. Okay. And then I was like, what does this mean? And then I looked. What are? Ignore me watching FFG. I'm sorry. What? It is 7 p.m. Okay. I have a blade roast in the oven, and nothing. Look at this. So we're gonna react to that because this is the video that I've respectfully been waiting for since our Lord's year 2019, as Alex Shook would say. I need to put this out because I want to talk about this with y'all so bad. Okay, I'm sorry, and the other video will come out. I swear to God, like, at the same time, I guess, because I'm in the middle of doing it. I got distracted, and now I have to watch it. So you can literally hear my man's playing Marvel Rivals next to me. You can hear the little clack of the keys. Like, I need to, like, like, I don't know what else to say. Like, I have to watch this. So, thank you to my members and patrons. Also, love y'all, all that kind of stuff. Chapters, don't need them. I'm reacting. That's it. I'll put the intro at whatever, it's 2 minutes or so. I need to watch this with y'all.
Hello.
Actually nuts.
Okay,
hold on. Timeline's already all messed up because... Wait, this is the wrong video. That's... Oh my god. See this? Okay.
Hello.
Okay, let's get into it. This is crazy. Okay. Hold on.
Oh, hello. So, welcome to a new video. It's actually February 7th at 3 a.m. in the morning. Yes, I should be asleep, but here I am awake filming a video. I was actually getting ready to get comfy and try to sleep. My sleeping hasn't been the greatest. I've just been having a lot of anxiety, and when I have a lot of anxiety,
it's 3 a.m. in the morning. Oh my god. Immediate dumping of unnecessary details. This could be multiple things because I'm an anxious girly myself, so that could definitely be just the over divulging. Some people say it's implicate of like lying though. Implicit of lying? Implies lying? Take that with you may though. This is crazy. Anyway.
anxiety, I go to sleep really late and I genuinely hate it. Something I've suffered with majority of my life. But anyways, I could have totally slept and waited till tomorrow to film this, but I think...
Holy Moses. That like to dislike ratio, y'all. Okay, wait, before we get into it too much, no, the comments are spoilers. I redact. But I've never seen it this bad. That's actually crazy.
It's just so heavy that like I have to do it now so I can just be completely done with it. I watched Beck's new video that they posted tonight or today or whatever, but it
okay, so February 7th. Okay. So February 2nd. February 7th is... Oh, I hate when they do this. So the 7th was 9 days ago. So is it this? It has to be this one. So this is when Beck reacts to the compilation of Amber being mean to them. Like, so, okay. So what's happening here then is in this video, which I believe I do talk about it when Beck comes back, but I don't remember. My video was actually older than this, so never mind. In this video, Beck talks about a ton of details from things like how Amber... Was it choosy in this one? Because I know there was also the talking about playing choosy stuff. But I believe that was in the Oh Lordy It's Jordy one, actually. They talk about a ton of stuff in regards to the way that Amber would treat them, that Amber wouldn't take care of the pets, and that she would leave the feces on the bed. Beck had to throw out the mattress. Talks about a ton of different, just really, really dark things that happened between her and Amber. It also talks about how Beck was on a ton of different medications, and Amber would insist that she drive. We use a lot of things like, you never loved me, and that kind of like manipulative tactics like that.
And better.
This one is a particularly important one where Amber calls Beck too fat for the fanny pack when it's like, my brother in Christ. Like, oh boy, like to what level of ascending self-awareness do we have to be to get there? But anyway.
Chinese buffet.
Me?
What?
It's buffet.
Oh, and there's the mispronouncing word stuff. There was anyway, it was just, they revealed a ton of stuff about Amber.
Do you feel better to go out today?
Completely planned. She told me basically what to say before we started filming.
And then they would also, Amber would ploy that they would have to do certain videos and they would have to say certain things, do certain things. So this is actually not even when we talk about the playing shoesy and stuff, which is like a whole other level, which allegedly, according to Reddit, there's voiceovers in here. So I wonder if she's going to add to that. Also, I can tell my man's listening to me, so he's in for the goss too.
It was a new one. So that video genuinely shocked me, and it made me feel stupid and dumb, and it made me realize that like the way that I viewed our relationship was completely wrong, and I was oblivious to a lot of things, even to the extent of the way that I treated them. So I want to be accountable in that. But this is just the example that I saw in their newest video where it made me look back and be like, yeah, like we both actually viewed this relationship completely different. So in their new...
Oh, oh my God. We both, BOWLTH, obviously, viewed this relationship very differently. Now, allegedly in Minecraft, according to the Reddit spoilers I've read, Amber pretends to have empathy in this one, but we both viewed this differently is a way that people prime to gaslight. So okay, hot diggity.
Video, they were reacting to a compilation video of me being rude to them for 10 minutes straight, and in the reaction, Beck stated multiple times that it's obvious that they didn't want to be on camera, and they said, oh, look at me zoning out while she's talking. And it's like both of those things like genuinely hurt, and it made me realize like I didn't even notice these things. Just like how when I was in a relationship with them, I didn't notice how mean or rude I could come off until looking back, and I just feel super remorseful.
I would yell and punch at the walls so that you would pay attention to me. I set timers for when you can hang out with your friends. I would force you to drive me places when you were dissociating on extremely strong medications where it takes a toddler to notice that something was off. I would yell at you and scream. I didn't realize how rude I was coming off, though. Oh my gosh.
I viewed our whole relationship a certain way that it wasn't. I genuinely thought that they wanted to be on camera and that they were okay with being on camera. And I was so accustomed to them zoning out or seeming like they didn't want to be on camera that like that was normal for me. But I didn't know.
Dig. Why was that normal to you? Why were you accustomed to that? Why were you accustomed to your partner constantly dissociating? You see what I mean? Like, where are we at here? What is happening?
Know that the zoning out and the look on their face, etc., was like an indication that they weren't listening to me or that they didn't want to be on camera. Like that is like news to me. So no.
But what is it otherwise? Je ne comprends pas. Like, girl, if I'm yapping at my man, right? Like, I'm like, hey girl, let's go to Marshall's. And then he's just there like this. I'm going to assume he doesn't want to go to Marshall's. Because that's like usually what, like, it's, this veers into that I question her ability to understand consent in general. Because if a consistent lack of enthusiasm about anything, remember, our girl's 34 years old. Tap into that too, by the way. But like this consistent lack of understanding that like they're just so deadpanned, and you're like, oh, it's news to me that they didn't want to. How do you perceive consent? Because that's consent. Consent extends beyond like sexual behaviors, and things like that. You know, it's. How do you not understand they don't want to do something?
Knowing that, like, I viewed our relationship one way and it wasn't, like, I genuinely look stupid, but I guess, like, maybe I low-key deserve it. Realizing that we both viewed this relationship so differently actually makes it easier for me to be accountable and to apologize. Because if that's the way that they truly viewed it, like, I deeply apologize for that. And there's nothing I can do to change their...
It's I just want to notice, right, that the first thing she brings up in regards to the concept of being accountable is, I'm happy that this makes it easier for me. There's really no there is still clearly no empathy for Beck.
Their opinions and their thoughts and their experience, because that's what they lived. I wasn't the greatest girlfriend. I wasn't the most perfect girlfriend, but I will say I'm not all good. I'm not all bad. And I wasn't that way then either. Like, our relationship was definitely complex. And even though it might not be visible to the public or even to Beck in this moment, I have taken accountability for the things that I've done. And
Where? Name anything. I have been with my mans for 5 years. Okay? So that's longer than the relationship with Beck lasted. Okay? I have never pounded on the walls and yelled because he's not adhering to my demands fast enough. I have never he actually I was brushing my teeth yesterday and he went up behind me and started picking the lint off my back till as like a joke, and it's like, stop that, because he's been watching me watch all this like Beck content. I've never forced him to like give me like a massage or to do anything for like this extended period of time with any timers. I have never had him drive me anywhere in any sort of condition that's not optimal sober condition. I can't hold up this finger, so four is this way. I have never. Also, I am quite certain that him and I perceive the relationship in the same way, because that's a very minimum requirement for a healthy consensual relationship.
In the video, they even stated, like, I don't want you to reach out to me, and that's very much why I haven't, because I wanted to respect those boundaries. But they said,
as if, girl, as the fuck if. Literally, you talked about how you could not stop reaching out to wifey, and then I presume she blocked your number or something. And Erica also kept getting reached out to. You were stalking your ex-feeder's comments for people to come in. Sure.
I don't want an apology from you. I genuinely feel like Beck deserves an apology for the wrongdoings that I did do. But if they don't want to accept it or hear it, then I have to be okay with that. I'm not going to apologize to the internet. The apology wasn't for you guys. It was for them. I feel like in this situation, like, this type of accountability should be handled in private, just like the apology should have, and this sort of discussion that is like happening between back and forth with us.
Also, the entire essence of this video is just Amberlynn wanting Amberlynn to feel better. All of this is very clearly just Amberlynn trying to get rid of guilt, and this insistence that Beck should accept their apology and that it should be done in private and that the turn should be accepted is just because she hates feeling bad so much more than she hated how she treated them. That's it. It's very simple. You wanted to... You want it to be private because you can bulldoze them in private. You can gaslight them in private. There's no screen of assessment in private. There is no access to assistance in private. You're mad that people are taking publicly accessible content that you put out and were able to better assess the reality of your relationship than you, because you're so in your head about how much better you were than them that you treated them like trash. Full stop, girl.
Like, these things should be happening in private. And it's like when personal matters like this are brought onto like a public platform, I feel like
they're talking about videos that you brought onto the public platform that embarrassed them. It's so easy, girl.
Backed up in a corner, like I have to defend myself or I have to say something. But it's like, I'm not going to sit here and go through every single thing that they said, like every single claim, every single this or that, because that is just going to fuel negativity. I truly don't feel like the back and forth is productive for either of us. But if they truly feel like sharing their story is what is going to help them in the long run, then go for it. But I have to genuinely step away. Like I said, I wasn't going to speak about them, and that was standing. But like hearing all of these things being said, it's been hard for me, because it's like I have shown growth in my personal life, and it's hard to like show growth publicly when these are things that like was happening behind the scenes. So publicly, I might look the same to you guys.
It just, for one, it blows my mind how bad she is at speaking English. when like that's the only language you got, girl. That's the only one. Secondly, that and I don't want to hear any like, oh, Mika, you're being what's the word for that? Wow, me being bad at speaking English. Wow, elitist. First off, I haven't said that I got awards for my writing in English. I've not said anything like that. And like, this is a person who brags about her supposed intellect all the time, so it just makes me like more annoyed that she's bad at it. And also, this was something that Beck mentioned too, right? Like this insistence on like not correcting themselves and not adjusting themselves and not perceiving the input of other people. But also, like, how dare you talk all this crap on the internet, and then the second that there's any pushback, it's, why wasn't it private? Why wasn't it private? Rules for thee, but not for me, and it's very frustrating.
But I have changed a lot. I am always...
Where? Literally where? You stalked Erica's location. You were constantly berating them. Demanded constant time with them on FaceTime, I guess. You were with Emily. You were doing like the same thing. Every single partner since Beck has, besides Wifey, because we don't know anything, has relayed the same experiences. You're still like the same way. You still look the same. You still act the same. You still mispronounce words the same way. You still do all like this, still like this, the habits. It's like you don't go around Walmart on a scooter anymore. That's like it, really.
Open for growth and for changing to be a better person every single day. And I want to reflect on the past more, because that actually genuinely helps me see ways that I need to improve and ways that I already have improved. And I just want to say that anytime that I had Beck on my channel, it was never out of malice. I never meant to disrespect them. And I really, 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 really did love them. This might be a little tea because no one knows, but when Beck and I were just friends, while I was with Feline, and Feline did know this, don't worry. One night I got really, really drunk, and I told Beck, like, I really was in love with you, and I still love you. Like, you're a great person. And I hyped them up because genuinely, I owe so much to them, and I have so much gratitude to them. They were there for me during some of the hardest moments of my life, i.e. when I was diagnosed with cancer. But I have never tried to show them in a certain way. Nothing was ever out of malice from the bottom of my heart, and I just really needed to make that clear. Like, honestly, all I can really do is just continue working.
Beck not coming on to Instagram stories a la Shane Dawson and being like, what a fucking liar, makes them such a better person than me. Like, I'm gonna keep it $150. Like, Holy moly.
on myself. My focus moving forward is to just ignore it all. Like, I wanted to
Of course. Girl, man, like, I don't know the reaction. Like, the reactions are able to, like, keep such a composure. I literally hear her and I'm like, girl, cage match. Like, in Minecraft. I'm just joking. That's a joke. It's just like, how can you still be so narcissistic? I hate saying narcissistic because I'm not a medical practitioner. I don't do, and also that would be a complex psychological disorder. So that would be a complex behavioral health disorder. So not under like anything even in the universe that I would have worked in with children, but it's like such a narcissistic way of approaching where it's like, I'm just gonna ignore the hate about me being an abuser, documented on the platform that I made hundreds of thousands of dollars.
to take what Beck is doing and put it in like a positive way and put a positive spin to it and like be like, yeah, I am accountable. But at the same time, obviously, like, I do find frustrations in the ways that I feel like they are exaggerating or they have lied. I do firmly believe that two things can happen at once. I can be accountable, but I can also be frustrated. But I'm not accountable and frustrated about the same things. Like everyone likes to say, there are three sides to every story: their side, my side, the truth. And like a really good example.
You literally have the nickname Liarlyn, brother. Because also, this is the thing too, like if you think about the difference on the way that this is addressing it versus how Beck's addressed things, Beck is literally able to overlay video evidence of every single claim. Or let me rephrase that. They're able to lay video evidence on so many claims, and if it's not directly in relation to the specific thing they've mentioned, it is in the behavior that they've mentioned. Mind you, Amber is just sitting yapping at 3 a.m. being like, I'm mad that they're a liar though. If you were actually apologetic, you would not constantly circle it back to how you have to feel bad for you. How the audience has to feel bad for you.
Example of like people viewing things differently, like kind of what's going on with like Blake and Justin. Blake feels like one thing happened, while Justin's like, no, that's not what happened. So you know what? I can't even sit here and firmly be like, okay, Beck is lying, because if they viewed it that way, then I have to accept that for what it is, because what's true to someone and the way that they view something might not be true to everyone else in the room. I want to play.
She's actively gaslighting, which is crazy. Like in an apology for being abusive, you're gaslighting.
Devil's advocate here for a second. If I'm remembering something wrong that Beck genuinely remembers as like a full truth, then that's fair as well, because I have really bad memory problems due to moments of high stress, trauma, BPD, when I have anxiety.
Girl, my brother in Christ. Do you not think they would have had any issues? Man. And the thing is too, right? You think about the stuff that Beck's willing to talk about versus the things that Amber showed and was talking about, where it was like trying to paint Beck as this like horrible person, but it's like, I'm not gonna, because I've talked about this before a ton of times, right? The imagination extends farther than reality in a lot of people, right? So Amber will purposefully allude to things that may or may not have happened to kind of let the imagination run wild, while Beck has consistent and tangible examples for things. And then also on top of that is purposely being like, I'm going to respect a lot of these different things about them that Amber has never once shown respect for. Amber filmed Destiny booty raw naked. You know what I mean? Like, give me a break.
Anxiety. Sometimes I'll literally like black out because I'm so anxious. And I just want to say, whether my apology was behind a paywall, whether it was in a Snapchat, whether it's in a YouTube video, or whether I say it to Beck directly, it is 100% sincere. And I have apologized to them personally, but that was years ago after our breakup. Beck and I was friends for about a year after we broke up. And obviously that didn't work out, which I understand, but I did.
Because you left them with $100 to move and then watched them cry when they couldn't afford extra time in the U-Haul while you had already moved another bitch into the house, girl. Like, you're happy, like, they didn't press charges on something. Like, genuinely.
Apologize to them. I don't think that I took as much accountability as I do take now, because like I said, every day I like to reflect and just grow into a better.
is the accountability in the room with us, brother. How are you accountable when you never ever say what it is that the problem was?
Person. So I'm not going to sit here and list off every single claim that they said and write down like, okay, guys, these are the things that are true and these are the things that aren't. These are the things that I'm accountable for. Like, there's no productivity in that, because whether the internet knows what I'm accountable for versus what I'm not accountable for, that doesn't bother me. The only person that I'm worried about and them actually hearing me is Beck. And if they don't want to, that's their prerogative. I'm okay with that. I want them to do whatever helps them. I'm not apologizing for myself. I'm apologizing to the person that I was in a relationship with for almost 5 years.
Why would you come on a video, hedge everything, be non-specific, but only specific about how you feel like you've been accountable for things? Mention, sprinkle in their lying, not about what. Leave that implication there. And then that's only for their benefit, as in Beck in this circumstance. How is this not only for your benefit? I really don't understand.
And I hurt them, and I'm sorry for that. I really want to continue taking that experience and that relationship and learning from it. Beck can say absolutely anything from this point forward, and I am not going to respond. I genuinely wish them nothing but the best. And the apology that I need to give to you guys, if I hurt any of you during this whole thing because you guys care for Beck, then I'm also sorry for that. I'm a very...
You know what makes me believe Beck even more? Is that when Destiny was doing stuff, Amber had the smoke for her. Right? And Amber came in vicious and retaliating and had force, which is way more consistent with her actual behaviors than whatever this is.
Very flawed individual. That is not an excuse, but I'm a flawed individual that can learn from this experience. And thankfully I have. Whether people see it or believe it, I know it because I am my own person and I know how I've been in past relationships. And as I've gotten older and more mature, and I've learned more about my BPD and just who I am as a person.
It's also just like, girl, you are not young in this relationship either. You were like pushing 30. Oh, hi, Gus. It's like I
have become a better person, and I have become a better girlfriend. I've become a better friend. I've become a better pet parent. I've become a better daughter. I've become
a better pet parent. Girl, you lost the cat like 3 months ago. He's here. And he's microchipped. And he has a little pink air tag. It's pretty easy. He's also eating, I think, a sweet potato right now. Like the ones that are like for dogs, that are like freeze dried.
I'm a better sister, but I'm still flawed. I'm super complex and nuanced, just like we all are. And this just has to be the last time that I speak about this to protect my peace. And I hope that Beck does things that also protects theirs. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.
Oh my God. That was crazy. That was crazy. Okay. Me and Gus and I gonna sign off. I promise I'm not becoming a Girl World channel. This is just the most nuts thing I've seen in a really long time. Thank y'all for watching. Stop lifting your eyebrows like that. I literally am editing a not Girl World video as we speak. Thank you very much. Thank you for watching. Other video coming. Probably I'll schedule for like tomorrow afternoon, if I'll put this out tonight or whatever. Let's see how fast it is. It is 7:29. Whatever time. Snowstorm still happening. Thank y'all for coming. Link Source Away Sports channel, all that kind of stuff down below. Non-Grow World videos coming, I promise. It's just been a weird week. And thank you again, and I'll see y'all when I see you. And I'll add a TikTok. Bye!
You better not mess with my gang, or you'll be messing with Oopie Goopy, General Munchkin Man, Lil Jim Bob, and worst of all, Larry.